Hello, I'm Debbie Nelson, and I'm with Alternative to Meds podcast. I am happy that we are bringing on the camera Dr. Samuel Lee, who's one of my favorites in the whole wide world. I know. So as a psychiatrist, he's about as, he's unconventional, and that's what we love about him. And that's what I think so many people resonate with your work and what you're doing. He's with Alternative to Med Center, but he's doing amazing things within the world. He keeps on going out there on social media trying to get out there the message of healing.
It's time.
It is time.
Yeah, it's time. Thank you for that beautiful intro. I love Deb. Deb is an angel. She's a powerful angel, and so are you. Aww. And yeah, the reason I'm actually here is because of Deb. She's a connector. So, if, shout out to all the connectors in our lives. Love is the cohesive power of the universe. Love is what connects. And when you're so sure and firm about why you're here, your mission, your purpose in life, and you're so strongly convicted and you have a good conscience, then you do what Deb does. She just calls people out of the blue. So I was just going to the beach and chanting, creating through the quantum field, where there is no time, no space, so you don't have to fight against people, against the environment, against time. And so when you become no one, nothing, nowhere, and you're able to just focus on your breath, you come into the quantum world, and you're able to send signals and messages through the quantum world, and you can create through that world. And so I was just going to the beach and chanting and saying, we are all one, we are truth for the liberation of all sentient beings. Please lead me on my highest path, my highest timeline with grace and ease. And one morning while I was chanting, I get a call from beautiful Deb, and she says, we need to meet. And I said, okay. If you haven't read The Surrender Experiment with Michael Singer, realize and understand the universe is working for you, not against you. Which means every single thing that is happening right now, even when a person cuts you off, is here to teach us something. It's here to teach us how to evolve in love. So everything is a lesson, a blessing, and an opportunity if we think it is. Because the universe is not necessarily concerned about how much money we have, who we're dating, or what it's really concerned about is the evolution of our soul. And so Earth is a school, and we're here to learn love, how to evolve in love. So everything that happens is here to teach us, That's why sometimes we end up in the same relationship over and over and again. And it's like, why? Because everything is a vibration. And so as we're vibrating and emitting our character, who we are, the universe is going to keep putting the same lessons, the same people, the same things in front of us until we learn how to evolve and how to love that person, how to love that situation, how to be patient in that situation. And so that's what we're here to do, is learn how to love. And love is the cohesive power of the universe. Shout out to all the connectors, because love is connection. And Deb just, she called me up and she said, let's meet, let's have breakfast. 2 months later, she says, we need you in Sedona. And I just surrendered. And so when you surrender to the flow of the universe, just say, okay, universe. I don't know why my mind says no, but my heart says yes. Okay, universe. It is working for you, not against you. And it will lead you to the evolution of your character. And sometimes you'll end up in Sedona.
Well, I know that's with me. Like I feel that same way, like every single step. And I always tell people, it doesn't matter if I'm talking to someone who's interested in coming to the center, someone who needs help. I always say, if something feels right to you and it resonates, move on it.
Yes.
And when we pray for answers, I start out my every single day prior to work. Please help me, guide me towards the people that can help heal, that we can help heal, help bring into an environment that is healing. Yes. And when we do that, I think doors are opened, and it's whether or not we move on it.
100%.
And I know at the lowest points of my life, I had addiction issues, and that's what's led me to do the work that I do now, is my own prior experience. And every one of us has a different reason as to why you're involved. And I always say the most freeing moment is when we can just be authentic and stop putting on airs.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, don't you think? Honestly, there's so many times we're also afraid as to what the neighbors think, what our work thinks, when we lift that, you realize how many people are still suffering in silence. They think they're the only ones. They think I'm the only one that's this bad. I'm the only one really dealing with this, but you're not.
You're not, 'cause you know you're not the only one. You've brought up so many good points just in that. When we take a step forward in faith, the universe opens the next door. Right. So if it's saying do this today, we don't know why, we take that step forward, and the universe gives you the idea. If the angel drops in the idea to change the world, and we're like, how am I going to do it 10 steps later? But you take that one step, the next step will reveal itself.
Right.
And that's the beauty of the universe, and that's faith. And you also said like not caring what other people think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the truth, because everything is vibration, and we all carry a unique vibration. And so psychiatric diagnosis and labels were actually created to try to get people to fit in. So they create these diagnoses and labels when it's like, if you don't fit into what 95% of the society is doing and you have these symptoms, then you're labeled with this label. But the truth of the reality is we were all created with a unique vibration and unique reflection of source to actually stand out. And so when we actually play our chord, our note loud and proud, just be completely who we are, authentic, we actually fit right in to the great symphony of the great, if you want to say, orchestra of the universe.
That's true.
And so we were created to stand out, not fit in, and the key is not caring what other people think and playing our resonance, our note loud and proud. And then what will happen is our authenticity will attract. Everyone's not gonna like it, and that's okay.
Right.
Because actually what we're here to do is trigger each other by being authentic. If we're being authentic and we trigger each other, that's good.
Right.
Say to that person, then you're welcome, because you just contributed to the evolution of the world. Because now that person can say, look at their trigger, what triggered me? And be able to go inside and say, okay, how can I love that part of me? Because that is just a reflection, until you keep expanding your heart and there are no more triggers. And so that's actually a part of the human experience. And it's a beautiful part of the evolution of our souls.
It's interesting what you said, the labels, like, the DSM keeps expanding, expanding.
Yeah.
And really it's just, you hear people frequently, I'm bipolar, I'm this, I'm that, I've got this disorder. And instead it's almost like saying it's part of it's become their identity. It's who they are, rather than a symptom of where they've come from.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great point. And so it becomes like a crutch, like it's my bipolar, it's this.
Right.
But the truth be told, we got to trace back to where these diagnoses and labels were created from, right? And so psychiatrists, have been doing this a long time, and I'm not gonna give you the whole history, but what we'll say is the DSM was created by a bunch of psychiatrists sitting around a circle. Now, if you want to see something funny, see 20 psychiatrists sitting in a circle trying to decide what to order for Christmas party dinner. I mean, it's like I used to, right?
Really?
Oh my goodness, the hardest. They couldn't even decide that. But now imagine 20 I love psychiatrists, by the way. Most of them have good hearts, and they're just following the system. But now imagine 20 psychiatrists sitting around trying to determine how to label people and create a book that's going to spread across the world and label people into diagnosis. Now what we have to understand is they're only doing what they were trained to do in medical school and looking at research papers. There were 11 research papers. 8 of them were against the medication, 3 of them were for. Well, guess which ones get filtered into the mainstream media? The 3 that were for, and these 3 that are for are sponsored by pharmaceutical companies who are running their studies according to what's going to help them.
Right.
And now I don't want to point a finger at anyone, because that's just the system of capitalism and the system we've created. But now every 10 years, the psychiatrists revise the DSM-5, and it's getting thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. And it's become this thing where it's like, if you have these symptoms, then you have this label and you take this medication.
Right.
But actually, the medications are not actually curing the root cause of what's happening.
Right.
And so the symptoms are real, but what's actually the cause is usually happening in the invisible world. Our mental attitude, the way we speak, the way we think, the words that we use. And now science is starting to put words to this. We can reprogram our DNA through our words, the power of. So it's the frequency, it's the energy, it's the vibration, which psychiatry is now shifting into. This new global paradigm of mental health is now shifting as consciousness arises, because Mother Earth has decided to ascend, to increase her vibration, which means now everything that is not in alignment with truth, as we don't have a choice. It's going to come into all these systems that are not based upon truth, that by higher vibration will slowly fall apart. The truth will be exposed, and then people will have to choose, like, am I going to stand for what I know to be true, or am I going to choose, and it's a choice and no judgment, am I going to choose to follow the old system?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what makes you so unorthodox in comparison, because now all of a sudden you're like, okay, so now I'm seeing this demographic of people that have these labels, that have these real things that are going on, that come to us, and you're telling them, let's see what we can do to be able to help you. And we have this team, this very unique team, you being one of them, that are here to help. Basically, because everyone is, all different levels as to what's gone on. A lot of, like you said, is the programming that someone has heard. Now, this is what you are. This is what it is.
Yeah. And that's a great point. And there's not one piece of double-blind studied evidence that shows that there's actually a chemical imbalance in the brain.
Right.
That actually was started by a rumor and spread through effective advertising, right? But not one psychiatrist. First of all, there's no actual way to measure the exact chemicals in your brain, number one. No psychiatrist will actually do that before putting you on life-altering medications that can actually cause an chemical imbalance, not fix a chemical imbalance. Right. And so, but the beautiful thing is like focusing on the solution. And so, yes, and what I want to say is like depression, bipolar disorder, all these things, now we're starting to look at it from an energetic standpoint. Depression is stuck energy. Depression is when the energy is stuck in the mind on something, a replaying of subconscious thoughts and beliefs that are negative, that have a low vibration. Right, so all we got to do is unstuck the energy. Bipolar disorder is when the energy is going so high up here, going so bad, the brain waves the mind is leading the way. You can't sleep, can't clean out the subconscious mind. So there's these new ways of looking at it now. But what I really want to say is now the exciting thing is, if you continue on this path of truth and enlightenment, you come to a certain point in your journey where you look back on your journey and you realize every single thing you've been through has been for a purpose. And has been for a divine purpose. So all of the depression, 4 episodes of depression I went through, the 2 episodes of mania I went through, the episode of psychosis I went through, I would not change a thing. Because what I realized is I planned it, I chose it. So that I can learn, experience the lower vibrations. If you don't experience the lower vibrations, you can never actually enjoy and appreciate the higher vibrations. It's like a ladder, a rung on a ladder. So you got to spend a little time at each consciousness. Now, I went through major depression. I would not wish it upon anybody. But now I can, the opposite of that, like pure joy, I can experience that. But not only that, now I can speak from my heart. It was part of my mission to experience all of these diagnoses and labels and, go through all of these things. So that now, and go on a deeply healing personal journey, I can speak from my heart and have the keys to the consciousness to speak from my heart when I talk to people who are going through it, and therefore help people who are going through it because I've been through it. And so every single thing that we are going through is happening for a reason, a specific purpose, a divine purpose, and you don't give up. You keep going, keep believing in yourself, stick to love, 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 and you'll come to a point on this journey where you're like, everything that happened for a reason.
And then like what you had said is there's nothing more authentic than to actually put your hand out and say, I've been there.
Yeah.
Let me help you lead the way to get out of this. And you do a ton of breath work. You do a lot of different alternative things to be able to help people that you yourself have used in order to help yourself heal. Yeah. And so when you're able to speak on a very authentic place, it makes a huge difference. Yeah. Where you're actually saying, come on, follow me. Yeah. It's okay, take one step out of this. Yeah. One step.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty crazy like that. So I call myself an experiential psychiatrist. Like I will try everything because I will not recommend anything to anyone that I haven't tried. Right? And you can tell the truth carries a vibration, a frequency. So when you're speaking from your heart and you've experienced it and you're speaking that carries a vibration and people can resonate with that. And there's truth will set us free. And so yes, because of my complex PTSD, quote unquote complex PTSD, bipolar disorder, major depression, I had to go on a deeply, deeply personal healing journey. That led me to the Amazon jungle, working with all different types of plant medicines. That led me to all kinds of seminars, all kinds of podcasts, working with orthomolecular psychiatry, studying all different types of things to heal myself. I mean, there was 3 months where I was in fetal position. I couldn't get out of bed because I was so terrified of the world. I thought I was such a bad person. Right? So I had to go on this deeply healing personal journey to learn how to heal myself. And out of all of the things that I found, and there was every step, the Creator sent me the right tool, the right person, the right book at the right time, and like it always does. But then like what really changed my world and my life was finding breath work, the power of the breath. And it's just amazing what you can do with the breath. The mind will follow the breath, or the breath will follow the mind. In the beginning, God breathed into man the breath of life. The Hebrew word for that is ruach, which means spirit. God breathed into man's spirit. And so we are spirit. We are not our thoughts. We are not our body. We are not our emotions. You know, thoughts will come and go. People will come and go. Feelings will come and go. But who's always there? Our spirit, our consciousness. So when we learn how to identify with that, work with that, there's nothing that you cannot not do in this world.
So you need to follow him. Yeah. You're on what? Both Instagram, you're on TikTok. You've got a viral video that's taken off on breathwork, on anxiety, right?
Yep. We're up to 40,000 views in like 3 days.
3 days. That's amazing.
Hallelujah, because it's helping people.
It's helping people. So the breathwork, you can go on to TikTok, look up Dr. Samuel Lee.
Instagram is at Spiritual Psychiatrist. We're posting daily breathwork content every single day. So Spiritual Psychiatrist on IG. We're just getting started. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, it's limitless. So we're just posting anxiety breathwork stuff right now. Pretty soon, we're going to start posting real juicy, fun stuff.
Juicy fun stuff.
Yeah. So if you like juicy, fun stuff, Spiritual Psychiatrist. I think TikTok is, I've never looked at the TikTok, like my friend runs it for me. But it's Dr. Samuel B.S. Lee, MD, or Dr. Samuel B.S. Lee. We're posting breathwork videos. We're posting, just everything about mental health. And so follow if you feel like it can help you or your friend. I'm finally able to say, like, I'm just comfortable with who I am. I know who I am.
You're just amazing.
And I'm just ready to start sharing that. And the world needs to know your truth.
Right.
It was about, when I first started this journey about 4 or 5 years ago, shout out Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart on YouTube. If you want like a really beautiful brother who's posting really beautiful wisdom, Infinite Waters on YouTube. But I was watching this stuff and it was waking me up. And then I actually met him. I saw him on Venice Beach at the skate park doing his thing. And I was like, yo, Ralph, what's up? And he's like, what's up? And I said, any advice? Like, I love what you're doing. He looked at me straight in the eyes, and what he said was, the world needs to know what you know. Share your truth. And I'm finally at that point 4 years later where I feel comfortable and confident in the mission. It's not about me. It's about the wisdom. It's about love. It's about light. And when you have that firm conviction, don't matter. You can speak truth in front of anyone.
I've said that. We've talked about that before, that it really isn't about you, myself, anyone. It's about the healing aspect of what the work is and what we're trying to accomplish, what there is out there. And if everyone just aligns and says we're here to change the world and help provide solutions for people, carries on its own.
Thousand, couldn't agree with you more. And
it's
already happening.
Your
vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah.
And so more and more, like, you just keep speaking your truth, you put in your authentic vibe out there, people will find you. You don't even have to do anything. Like, it's the law of attraction, right?
40,000 hits probably by the end of today. You think of how many more just because people keep posting on it saying it's helping me, it's helping.
Yeah.
So Dr. Lee is very big on breath work. And matter of fact, with this video, we can attach another one of your breath work videos.
Sure.
And he has his own book also.
Yeah.
So
The Spiritual Guide to Mental Health, it's just my truth about, I put as many pearls of wisdom as I could in there at the time I wrote it. It tells the story of a different perspective of mental health, of bipolar, depression, and then at the end of each chapter, I try to list as many, things that can actually help, like supplements, herbs, breath work, how to reprogram your subconscious mind, things like this. You can get it on Amazon, The Spiritual Guide to Mental Health, or you can go, if you want download the free ebook version. I have it for free on my website, www.thespiritualpsychiatrist.com. And it's called The Spiritual Guide to Mental Health. And if there's any publishers out there, I'm finally at this point where, like, I believe it can help people. Yeah. And so, I'm surrendering to the universe to see, if we can get it out there.
I'm so thankful that you're part. I mean, you're a special human being, and there's people that are drawn to do this work.
Yeah.
This is a demographic that isn't going away. It's only growing.
It's growing. Yeah.
It's growing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people out there that are affected,
Yeah.
and they don't know where to go, what to do.
Yeah.
They're like, I've got this problem, and they don't know, honestly, how do I get better?
Yeah.
And people do get better. I always tell people, I'm like, you can get well.
Yes.
People can get well. You just need the right tools. Now, what works for one person may not resonate. It doesn't matter. Don't throw it out there. Just say, do what resonates with you and keep moving forward.
100%.
And when some feels right, move on it.
Move on it.
Move on
Trust
it.
your intuition. Yeah.
Trust your intuition, because we ultimately know what is going to heal ourselves. It's just learning.
Our higher self already knows.
It already knows.
Yeah, our higher self
and
already
so
knows.
it's just about learning that.
Yeah,
So
100%.
love Dr. Lee. Love that he's a part of
I just want to shout out Deb. And what I want to say is this, like, we're all a reflection. We're all one. And so any positive quality you see in anyone else, you're only able to perceive because it is in you as well. And so I have this dream of building like these amazing mental health facilities with the latest technology, which are really going to help people. And the key is this, like, everybody gets to do what they love, right? So just do more of what you love. When you're doing what you love, you'll increase your vibration naturally. And so what I want to say is, like, there's people like Deb who are connectors, they're encouragers, they're angels, they do the prayer. There are other people who are just motivators. There are people who are like the cooks. There are people who are the technical people. We could not do it without them.
Right.
And the thing is, we are all one, and it takes a team. Together, everyone achieves more. And we're coming into this beautiful time in history where we realize one person is never better than another person. Okay, so the hierarchy of, ooh, I'm a doctor, nah, forget that. Ooh, I'm a senator, no. See, we're coming to this place where we're all equal and everybody gets to do what they love. And when everybody gets to do what they love, all of a sudden the team will come together. There'll be a cook, there'll be a chef, and we're gonna build these tribes. And it's gonna be beautiful, because love is the cohesive power of the universe. And the last thing I want to say is this. You see, if no one's fault, for centuries and centuries and generations and generations and generations, science has been geared towards the analytical mind. Okay, and it served us for that time being. Okay, the thinking mind, right? The rational mind. But we're coming into this new day and age, the Aquarius age, okay, where we're moving from our mind to our heart. So intuition, the state of unity, the place of oneness. And the voice in the mind is loud and noisy, but the voice of the heart is soft and quiet. So quiet the mind and the heart will speak. So right now, what I want to do is a practical exercise with you. This is some exercises the Heart Math Institute is doing. They're doing great work. And so what we want to do is we want to learn how to think with our heart, feel with our heart, speak with our heart, make decisions with our heart, because our heart is intelligent. It is a brain. It has neural tissue. It's an endocrine system. Every single beat it's doing right now is for us. It's monitoring everything going on, and it's beating for us. Actually, the heart sends more information to the brain than the brain does to the heart. And the electromagnetic field of energy, which we can now measure permeating from the heart, is actually sometimes 5 to 15 times as great as the electromagnetic field resonating from the brain. So we want to be conscious with our heart, and there's a practical way to do this. I'm going to teach you right now. So right now, think about a situation or a person or something in your life that's stressing you out or causing you frustration. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's finances, maybe it's your taxes. No judgment, don't judge it. It's not good, it's not bad. Just notice what you feel when you think about it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our hands on our heart. We're going to put attention on our heart. Where attention goes, blood flows, energy goes, and it grows. So we're going to focus on our heart. And we're going to imagine we're breathing very quietly and gently in through our nose into our heart for 4 seconds. So into the heart for 4. Relax as you exhale. One more time. Into the heart for 4. Exhale for 4. Relax. Imagine energy moving from the brain to the heart. Focus on the heart. Last time, into the heart. And exhale. Now, as you focus on your heart, what I want you to do is to think of an elevated emotion, gratitude, joy, forgiveness, compassion. Now, breathe into your heart. Just be thankful for your heart. Breathe in gratitude. just for being alive. A lot of people didn't wake up. We did. We're alive. So breathe in gratitude. Feel gratitude. Now, what we've done scientifically, we've laid the groundwork. Now our heart is vibrating to gratitude. Now we can lay down whatever thought we want, and it will register in the thought will register now, right? The two have to be in sync. So we're in our heart now. Breathe into the heart. Now, as you exhale, I want you to think about with your heart that situation, that person that was stressing you out before, but think with your heart now. What does your heart say about it? What does your heart feel about it? If you'll notice, the heart says something completely different than the brain. So any situation you're in now, it's probably feeling compassion for that person instead of frustration, right? So now what you really want to do is want to practically apply this. It's going to make your life so much easier. When the heart is open and the heart is leading the way, it's your spiritual GPS navigation system. It will lead you to your North Star, to your divine blueprint, to your purpose. It will lead you out of depression. Okay? And so anytime we're frustrated and we're stressed out, we're in our mind. So what we want to do is, even if we're in a meeting, we're in line, it doesn't matter. Breathe into your heart. Focus on your heart. And once you feel an elevated emotion, ask your heart, what do you want to do? What do you think about it? What's our next step? And your heart will lead the way. Okay?
All right.
All right.
I love heart math.
Yeah, heart math is great.
Heart math is great, and actually they're units that can actually help people.
Yes.
So
Yes.
thank you, Dr. Lee.
Yeah, thank you,
love
Deb.
you.
I love you too.
We're really blessed to have this amazing person that's out there.
Thank you. I want to say, shout out to Alternative to Med Center, our owner Lyle. All the people behind the scenes. We're onto something really beautiful here, I believe. And Dr. Julia Britz has now arrived. She's amazing. We're doing NAD therapy now.
Yeah.
So really helping people get off of meds safely. Now we're adding yoga classes, Tai Chi, Qigong classes.
It's a special place, but Sedona is a special place.
Sedona in general is going to heal just by being here. Native Americans used to only allow you in for 5 days. Okay, but now if you're living here for 60 days, imagine. Now we got all these tools, we got all these amazing staff members. Every single staff member here is heart-centered. Yeah. And so if you feel the call, look us up and give us a call. We love you so much.
Thank you.
Love, light, and peace to all.
Thanks.
Have a beautiful day.